The former British Finance Minister Rishi Sunak is facing a strong challenge from the Trade Minister Penny Mordaunt as they prepare for a second round of voting in the race to become Prime Minister. The two received the most support from Conservative MPs in the first stage ahead of the Foreign Secretary Liz Truss. The remaining field of 6 is expected to be narrowed to 2 by the end of next week.
I can now announce the result of the ballot held this afternoon. I'll read the names of the candidates in alphabetical order with the number of votes secured by that candidate. Badenoch, 40. Braverman, 32. Hunt, 18. Mordaunt, 67. Sunak, 88. Truss, 50, Tugendhat, 37, Zahawi, 25. Therefore, under the rules that we agreed for this ballot, 2 candidates will be eliminated, Jeremy Hunt and Nadeem Zahawi. The others are all able to go forward to the second ballot, which takes place tomorrow. Thank you very much.
For the latest on the race, we can cross live to London and join Arise Chief Correspondent John Cookson. John, thanks so much for joining us on Newsday. Now, the Foreign Secretary Liz Truss launched her campaign today. What is she promising?
Good afternoon, ladies. Great as always to be on Newsday. Well, what's she promising? She's promising tax cuts, and more tax cuts. That's Liz Truss. Currently the Foreign Secretary. She became an MP back in 2010, has held several ministerial posts: Environment Secretary, Justice Secretary, Chief Secretary to the Treasury, International Trade Secretary. She's currently Foreign Secretary, so she's got bags and bags of ministerial experience. She has the backing of loyal Johnson supporters, including Jacob Rees-Mogg. But the big question is, does she have the personality to carry herself through to another round? She came third yesterday. She got 50 votes, as you've just heard, and voting is underway at the moment, and we should know the results at about 3 p.m. But there are a lot of critics who are saying, well, Ms. Truss, this is all very well. You know, you're going to save us money. You're going to put money back into the pockets of British people. But where's it coming from? Who's going to pay for it? And what cutbacks are you going to make on government spending to deliver on all these tax cuts? So although she's got a great message that will appeal to British people and to Conservative Party voters, if you look behind what she's saying, there's a big question mark about where the cash is going to come from. Anyway, that's what happened today with Liz Truss setting off in her big campaign, and she's got, of course, beat another lady, Miss Mordaunt.
And there's a lot of political buzz about Penny Mordaunt. Do you think she can beat Rishi Sunak?
Well, if you read the popular press, I mean, she's a glamorous lady, background in reality television. She's a former nurse, a former charity worker, but she doesn't have a lot of experience in government. She was Defence Secretary briefly under Theresa May when she was Prime Minister. And there are some dirty tricks going on at the moment of people briefing against her about not having experience to become Prime Minister. Lord Frost, the former Brexit minister, has been particularly scathing about her today. But she's got presence. She's a bouncy, blonde-haired lady who comes across very well. She seems to connect with people. And in a poll of Conservative Party voters, that's the membership of the Conservative Party, that is, not MPs, she beat every candidate hands down. Because you have to understand the people who are voting at the moment are Conservative MPs. It will later go to the party itself. So she's still very much in with a chance. She came second yesterday to Sunak.
Well, does Sunak remain the overall favourite?
Very much so. He got 88 votes yesterday, well out in the lead. But just to go back to that point, these are MPs voting here, and he got more than a quarter of Conservative MPs voting for him. When it cuts down to the final two, and Sunak, frankly, is expected to be one of those with the golden ticket, as it were, it's a different matter because it's Conservative Party members who will be voting. So whether he has the same appeal to them as he does to Conservative MPs, then we'll have to wait and see. What hasn't really developed is the so-called scandal earlier this year about Sunak and his tax affairs. His wife, who's a billionairess, apparently has been paying no tax in the UK on foreign earnings because of her status with the tax office, and that's raised a few eyebrows. And also, Rishi Sunak has maintained an American green card whilst he's been in office, which in theory could give him tax advantages. So there are some stories floating around about Sunak and whether he's being entirely honest about his tax affairs. He, of course, insists that he is. And it's interesting in the last few days that more stories haven't leaked out, but he is very much still the favourite.
So, John, how does voting proceed after today?
Well, they're voting now, and that ends in, 20 minutes or so, and the result will be at 3 o'clock, and we'll lose one candidate today. Now, that's going to be either, I expect, Kemi Badenoch, who's did exceptionally well. She got 40 votes yesterday. Tom Tugendhat, who got 37, and Suella Braverman, who got 32. It's probably going to be one of those who drop out. And then there's another round next week until they get whittled down to 2 by the 21st of July.
Well, thank you so much for your analysis and joining us today.